Hey everybody, this is Mike with Door and Lock Tips. I had a commenter ask a really important question. What's the difference? They said, what's the difference between the Lishi SC4 or the SC1? So I have the SC1 here, SC4. I've got a bunch of separate picks, which, woo boy, we could go into a whole nother program on that, how to put these in. I only found 2 videos on how to do it and it looks pretty bad. Maybe you don't want to buy these things unless you're desperate, but you're basically going to ruin your tool getting them in. So there's those picks. Then I have the SC4, right, in the L. So this is the opposite of the SC4. Just the regular one. So the little arm is in the different orientations here. So there's the difference between the L and just the SC4. So the SC4L has the arm different. So I got out my vernier caliper, I put it in millimeters, and I started just measuring all the different picks and the thicknesses of the pick inside this SC, the Schlag World, and here's the different keyways the SC20 will go into, which is nice, right? They just made different styles. These are sectionals, and then the different keys will fit into all these. So this SC20 will go into every one of these cylinders, and this is what I'm really wanting to get at. This beauty, the SC20, will go into all these different cylinders. It will also go into the SC1, which this is the L, but just the SC1. And what is the difference? And let's just get a close look at this. The difference is this thing is cut really thin, real thin. So the SC20 is cut nicely thin. I'm wanting to show you these little angles on here. There's an angle cut right here where this does not have that. The pick itself is different. It's the same thickness, and the metal is, this little place right here, I measured the width on this because really that's where it's going to go to the different chambers. That's all basically the same. I mean, I can get difference on it, but it's all the same. So the chamber width right here is the same. But here's the difference in this bad boy. It's this part right here on the pick itself. It's nice and long and very narrow. So this is narrow right here. Whereas, we'll just grab one that's not in there. Whereas this is just on an angle. So this is narrow and it's kind of, square all the way up and down. Whereas this is on an angle. See the difference? I tell you, this commenter got me thinking. I've spent like 2 hours pulling all this stuff out, looking and checking and miking and measuring and doing all that kind of stuff. And just be honest with you, the SC20 is the pick of choice. I love this thing. I was wrong on it. I said, I had trouble with it. But boy, you just got to have a light touch. So the width on that is 30 millimeters, 0.30. And I can't get this out, or I would do it, but they don't come out very easily. Let's just get the width. I can get it back here. So that's basically the same, 3. I mean, I can overstress it. So it's 30. Same width. And like I say, the chamber width is the same. on these bad boys. The only difference is this one is really paper thin to go in all these sectionals, all different keys. You can put in F, G, G. I think you get it. The only difference in this beauty SC20 is I love it for picking. It has such a nice light touch. Now that I've learned how to use it, okay, I experimented with quite literally. Let me get out the bag. I'll just show you something here. Quite literally, there's at least, well, in the rest of the ammo box, I have at least 40, maybe 50 cylinders. I checked them all. Now that you guys got me going on this. And the reality is, the SC20 is a better pick. And if you only have 5 chambers, just don't use the 6th chamber. Just start with the 5th and work your way back and forth. Now, I do highly suggest you buy all these flavors. You're just going to do it because that's what we do. We buy, if we can buy one, we're going to buy 50 of them, right? So you're going to buy all these different flavors because if you wreck your SC20, you need a fallback. And these will all fall back. They really will. They're great. So these are all different flavors for the same Schlage cylinders. And the SC20 will cover all these different flavors, guys. I mean, it really makes more sense to buy the SC20. I've heard this debate, which should you buy? Buy the SC20. Now, I've definitively answered your questions, hopefully. It's the same thickness. The chamber width on this little tip is the same. It's the same height. The only difference on the SC20 is this part of it right here is cut all the same width all the way down. All the way down, same width. I hope I've answered your questions. And how you get these bad boys out? Oh, this is horrible. I thought it was easy until I checked how you do it. There's only like 2 guys showing how to do this. So let me just kind of give you an idea. You take this torsion bar off of there. Little tension bar, right? You take that off, and they did not make any easy way to open this thing up. Look at that. Look at that. You can't open it up. And they called it weld marks. Those are really not weld marks. Those are crushed marks. Crushed over. They crushed that metal over. And man, oh man, guess what you got to do? You got to take a shim, like a little picking tool, shove it in here, you hammer it in here, and this bends this part, because you see this is just laying in this part of it. And when you bend these two apart, oh boy, it's scary. $100 gone, right? It pries these two open, and then you can kind of finagle your way getting this head out of there. Because what's being held in here is this little lug. See that little lug there? That's being held inside of here. That's why you can't slide it out. So the lug's in your way. It's being held right inside here. Ooh. Did I scratch Mr. Lishi? No. But anyway, that's how you do it. But I wouldn't suggest you guys doing this. This is bad. Bad, bad, bad. Oh, man. I thought, wow, that's terrible. You got to pry your tool apart. $100 wrecked if you bend it or something. But I guess if you broke the tip off, what are you going to do? Oh, I did want to tell you something. These two, this is the SC4 and the SC1. See, these are two replacement picks. I can't tell the difference. I mic'd them all. I can't see anything different other than maybe right at the edge here, right on this edge on both of them. One of them's ground just slightly different. But you couldn't tell. If you put them in the wrong bag, I colored them so I wouldn't put them in the wrong bag. So other than that, I can't tell the difference. The lengths are all the same. Everything's identical. So the SC1 and the SC4 replacement picks, there's no difference at all. And these do not unscrew. You know, that'd be another way. Maybe. Well, it wouldn't matter anyway. These are all pressed in there. They don't unscrew. The SC20 is the way to fly. Buy the SC20, but then buy all the picks. I highly suggest you buy every pick they have, and probably ought to just go ahead and buy the replacement tips, just in case you're out there in the field and you break it and you're desperate, right? But I don't even carry these in the with the pack. They're in these plastic bags. Why didn't they make a better bag for these things? Anyway, and you know, I thought maybe I bent my pick on the SC20 because I had a little dimple in here, like a little spot. But I see this one has the same mark right here. So maybe I didn't bend nothing. Maybe it's just the way it's sanded or something. I can't believe they can make these things. Wow, how in the world? Well, they do a beautiful job. So get the SC20. If all you have is $100 to lose, right, and you're really desperate, you got to have one of these type of picks, the SC20 is your flavor. Buy this one. Buy them all. That's what I say. SC20, that's the difference, guys. Thanks, commenter, for asking the question. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends. And I'll have more door lock tips like this in the future. Thank you, guys.